Let's talk about Harry and Meghan now. So Spotify, we know, have withdrawn their contract and don't want to pay them the full $20 million because all they got in 2 years were 12 really dreary podcasts from Meghan called Archetypes, nothing else. Harry's ideas were to interview Putin, Trump and the Pope. Nice ideas if you can pull it off, but apparently his idea was that once he'd come up with this notion that the Spotify executives had to go off and set the interviews up. Right. Doesn't really go like that, does it, Harry? Now, Netflix, we hear, are really poised to do exactly the same as Spotify. They say all we've got is one 6-part series out of them. We know about that. That was their Harry and Meghan series where they poured a bucket over the king and said Britain was full of people who benefited from the slave trade, all of that claptrap. Nothing else. But they have come up with some ideas. My favourite was Emily in Paris, only with a bloke.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
I mean, as we discussed before, their ideas, they've pinched from somewhere else. I mean, one of the new ideas which they think Netflix is going to take on is something called Bad Manners.
Oh, the Miss Havisham project.
The Miss Havisham. This is the Dickens character, Miss Havisham, from Great Expectations, which, the BBC had a go at not so long ago, which was absolutely dreadful. But they're going to look at this Miss Havisham from her childhood. They've got this fixation with people's childhoods, to be honest.
They have, haven't they?
It just seems to be...
And powerful women. Powerful women. She's obsessed with powerful women. Yeah.
And looking at how men have influenced her to become a lonely old biddy, I mean, it is clearly...
So Miss Havisham was a fabulous, powerful young woman before men ruined her life. That's the world according to Meghan, isn't it?
And as I said to you before, I mean, I always thought Charles Dickens did a half-decent job with it.
Yeah, he's not a bad writer. I mean, he's no Prince Harry, but he's all right.
He's done a few bits and bobs, But, it's this sort of thing. Now, the interesting thing is now, Kevin, is it's not just people like you and me sniping away at them. It is now senior people in Hollywood are woken up. The bubble has definitely been pricked. And you've now got senior executives at both Spotify and Netflix reportedly saying that they have been underwhelmed by the Duke and Duchess of Sussex and their ideas. And there are lots enough people looking at it and saying, you can't carry on like this. Now, the latest guy, we talked about Bill Simmons the other day, a Spotify executive, who described them as grifters, i.e. the American...
Bleeping grifters. He also actually used the word lazy, and this is what it comes down to, isn't it? That these two people, because of their royal status, seem to think that these big companies will pour money at them and they don't really have to do anything to justify those amounts. As I said earlier, Prince Harry thought all he had to say was, get me Putin, Trump and the Pope, and then wait for Spotify to do that. I mean, he does not exist on planet Earth, does he?
No, he doesn't. Now, the latest guy to put the boot in is a guy called Jeffrey Zimmer. Now, he is head of the United Talent Agency, and it's worth noting what he said. He said, it turns out Meghan Markle was not a great audio talent or necessarily any kind of talent. And, just because you're famous doesn't make you great at something. I mean, I think that just sums up the whole thing, to be perfectly honest.
And if tactically, the mistake I think they've made, and you and I have some knowledge of this area, they have basically just opened the floodgates, done everything they can, with the royals and pouring a bucket over the king, all of that. They've done that. There's nothing left in that pot, and they've got nothing else to give. Oh. As Bill Simmons said, if they're not talking about the royal family, if they're not pouring a bucket over King Charles's head, no one's interested in what they've got to say.
Absolutely, and this is it. I was never against them making money. It's up to them if they wanted to make money. That's fine. But the way they're making their money, even the people who are paying them a lot of money are now saying, you're not worth what we're paying you. And in fact, I mean, one of the reasons why they were getting so much longer is because of their titles and their links to the British royal family. That's the only reason.
Charlie, I'm going to have to go, but great to talk to you as always. And by the way, that Dior deal that Meghan's supposed to be doing as an influencer, not hearing anything of that, are we? That seems to have gone west as well.